Hey guys, Devastrike here. Today I'm going to show you gameplay of this game I've been playing for a couple weeks called Valiant Force. And I'm going to explain why this is a great game, especially compared to other games since I have some extensive experience on gacha games, which this does. This is a gacha game to some extent. In that, yeah, you do summons and whatnot, but there's just so much more to this game. Um, so I think a lot of people will wonder, first of all, is this a free to play friendly game? And absolutely, it's one of the most free to play friendly games out there, but it is also very pay to play friendly. And a lot of people seem to think that those two things are at odds with each other, where it's either they look after pay to play or they look after free to play. And this game is really interesting is that they kind of do both at the same time. What I mean by that is that they just give so much away in the calendars. It's ridiculous compared to other gacha games. Um, just off of like the normal calendar, if you log in every day, not only do you get a whole bunch of gems, but you get guaranteed tickets from certain sets that are very good. You really don't get this kind of treatment in other games. But not only that, but when you're a pay to play player, in other gacha games, you're at the mercy totally of random number generator, right? So RNG, you do summons, you get completely screwed in terms of what characters you get. But this game is a little bit different for most of the characters. There are some that are very rare, but they aren't necessary to clear most of the content. So you could go off of heroes you could get very easily to beat most of the game, if not all. I personally have not been playing very long, but I do clear a lot of the content. So I'm not a total expert on what units you need or don't need, but I could get a general feel of how far you could go without certain units. There's definitely, I feel, not any must-have unit that is behind a paywall. And let me just go through the basics for you. So most of these sets actually include, well, not most, but a lot of them include selectors. Like this bundle, you can pick and choose exactly what hero you want. Other than Faith, which I'll go maybe in another video, as maybe as a beginner's guide. Other than Faith, there isn't really much RNG to do with these packs. And even if you do include that, sometimes they do give certain items that do guarantee certain faiths, like this pack. When you get a Green Pixie of Kratos, you pretty much can guarantee she has the best faith for being a tanker. That doesn't mean that the game takes away from the fun of being, what is it? Of being a gacha game. You still do summons. And here's the thing. When you do summons in other games, they don't guarantee any units. And in the actual summons itself, in this game, they don't guarantee any summons. But when you do summon, every multi-summon you do get this item. And if you get enough of those items and you go to the shop, you could actually just buy straight up. Just skip RNG and pick the event heroes. So basically, if you do enough multi-summons, you're guaranteed whatever unit you want off the banner, which is featured. To me, that is insanely good for any game I've ever played, in that it has the safety net so you don't really ever get entirely shafted. I'm actually very surprised by the reviews on this game saying that it's not free-to-play friendly. This is one of the most free-to-play friendly games I've ever played. And I've played games like Dokkan Battle, etc. And to me, those were horrible for free-to-play players. Another thing is how much in-depth gameplay there is. There's just so many combination of characters you could use. Each character can evolve into different tasks, and some are better than others, but it isn't, from my experience, it seems to be more of a matter of how versatile a character is and how many roles they could fill. Like there are certain characters that uh that evolve into a task that makes them very good for one thing but not very useful in others. And the question of whether you should go to a certain path or not is not only whether that unit hits hard or provides a good aura, but also about whether it's worth the investment. A unit that only does one thing really well may not be worth investing in early game because you want a unit that does so many things at once so you could kind of make the most out of your resources in terms of efficiency. But other than that, there's just so many different ways to play this game. I have so many teams I could possibly run. As you could see, I'm not very far into the game, so there's not much I could do. But I still, even at this point, find myself at a loss of like which strategy should I pick for this event. A lot of them are viable and very fun. And the last thing I want to go over that makes this game great is the fact that they roll out events every other week to every week. There's 1 week events and 2 week events. And why that's amazing is that it shows that the devs really care about the game. They're directly involved in the process. And that really, really is a huge problem in some of the other games that some of them which people like actually. If you don't get events and updates, there's nothing new in the game for you to play, and it just becomes really dry and boring. This game rolls out events every other week and updates every other week to 2 weeks, Like, that's amazing. They care about the game, they're directly involved, they listen to you, and a game might not be perfect, even though, personally, in my experience, this game is really, really good. Even though it does have those problems. What this shows that the devs are to some degree willing to listen. I mean, there are a little bit of issues with the quality of life updates, based on what people have told me. But other than that, this game just offers you so much. It does have a base building aspect, and it does require patience. But when you first join the game, they give everything you need to build a complete 5-star team, which is actually decent what they give you at the start. And you could easily clear heroic with whatever free units they have. The End of Masters does require a little bit of waiting, but that's just End of Legendary too, actually. But I feel like that's just normal for games. Like, it wouldn't be a fun game if they just gave you everything on the first day. You got them. But that's most of what I wanted to say about this game. It's a really great game. It's multifaceted. There's arena, there's conquest, there's raids. There's a lot of stuff you can do in this game. A lot of content just to clear and have fun. A chat system, which unfortunately isn't very active. But this game is criminally underrated in my opinion. I've played games like Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is also a very good game, in my opinion. It isn't as free-to-play friendly at all, but I mean, in terms of strategy and whatnot, it's actually quite interesting. At Dokkan Battle, etc. And out of all of the ones I've played so far, this has been very interesting to me. I typically don't go pay to play for about a month after I join a game, but this game has me. It really does deserve. The devs deserve something. They obviously put a lot of work doing the updates, as opposed to other games that just release the game and forget about it, other than like minor bug fixes. And it just gives you so much for the same amount you put in. like I said, the packs guarantee certain items. Is even cards, because if you get selectors, even if you spend what, $26, you can get the selector and actually pick exactly what hero you want, as opposed to complete RNG basedness, without taking the fun out of RNG because there's still summons. So again, like I said hundreds of times, this game is criminally underrated. I would highly suggest you give it a shot. I'm gonna make some further videos kind of giving you a guide of how to go about this game. I personally am not an expert on this game. I'm nowhere near as good as other people just because I haven't been playing that long. But I do believe that I've learned a lot, especially from the helpful Discord community. And perhaps I can also show people, especially newer players that are considering the game now after hearing about it, to progress through the game and just really have fun. This game is just about that. It's really fun. Anyways, I'm going to end this video here. This is Devastrike. I hope you enjoyed the video, and catch you later.